Welcome back, guys! Before we jump in, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, drop a comment below, and share this video with your crew. It really helps the channel out. Now today we're diving into the wild world of Indian cinema, and you know exactly what that means. We're talking zero respect for the laws of physics, gravity-defying stunts, and drama that hits harder than a truck. Buckle up, grab your popcorn, and let's get right into this madness. The movie kicks off with Sivagami carrying a baby, literally running for her life from these guards. She's forced to square up, absolutely destroys them all, and then jumps into the river where the current just drags her away. She looks up at the mountain and goes, "My punishment for all my sins is death, but this kid, he has to live to save his mom who's waiting for him." She dives underwater and dies while holding the baby up like this. Just then, Sangha and her crew see the kid is still alive. One of them goes down, grabs the baby from Sivagami's hand, and get this, she passed away pointing her finger right at the mountain. Don't trip, bro. She literally gave instructions to her finger before checking out. That thing was hard-coded. India is gonna drive me nuts, and I'm halfway there. Anyway, this guy takes the kid out of the river and tells them, "Yo, it's obvious this lady was a queen because even after dying, she was pointing to the mountain up top." Then they find a tunnel and realize it leads to the peak, and they spot the bodies of the guards Sivagami body-bagged. The guard tells Sangha, "Let's return this kid to his fam." She snaps back, "Are you crazy? His family definitely wanted him dead. I have no kids, I'm adopting him. We're sealing this tunnel and nobody talks about this again." And for real, she takes the baby and names him Shiva after the statue she worships. Shiva starts growing up and his favorite hobby is literally just vibing in front of the mountain like this. His mom asks, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "What's up there on the mountain? I want to climb it." She tells him, "Don't ever say that again. There are monsters up there that eat little kids." But he does whatever he wants and starts climbing. Sang is like, "How many times did I say no? Don't go there again." He says, "I won't," but he keeps finessing her. And every time he climbs, he gets to a certain height and falls. And oh my god, every time he climbs, he literally ages up. Pro tip, if you have a toddler, just take him to that mountain and you'll come back with a full-grown man. Anyway, he grows up and reaches a height he's never hit before. He's so close, but he fails and falls into the river. His friend tells him, "Your mom wants you right now." The priest tells his mom, "If you clean the Shiva symbol with water 126 times, he'll answer your prayers." She says, "My only wish is that my son never climbs that mountain again." He tells her, "For sure, Lord Shiva will grant your wish. Just gather your strength and clean it well, because the smell is gonna make me throw up." So she goes to get water, but a lady runs up and says, "Help, your son is gonna break the statue." She runs to him and says, "The statue's gonna throw you in hell," acting like the statue is her VIP ticket to heaven or something. Anyway, he ignores her, keeps breaking the statue, puts it on his shoulder, and walks until he places it right under the waterfall so the statue can shower forever. And everyone is hyped because the statue gets a lifetime shower. Now it just needs some soap and shampoo. So while he's standing there, a mask falls from the top of the mountain. He picks it up and starts asking it, "What are you? And why did you come to me specifically?" He puts the mask in the sand and realizes the owner is a total baddie, super gorgeous. So he decides to climb the mountain, but he's low-key scared of failing. He starts climbing, falls at a certain point, but then he hallucinates her in front of him, and that gives him a huge boost. Every stage he sees her, he pushes through until he reaches the top. There's nothing left but this one rock, and crossing it looks impossible, but nothing is impossible for the son of Bahubali. He makes a bow and a rope, ties the rope to the bow and his waist like this, shoots the arrow into a tree, and finally, he makes it to the top for the first time. Right then, he sees these warriors chasing the girl who owns the mask. Turns out, she's a warrior too. She wipes them out while he watches from a distance. She goes back to her village and tells the king the sword has been killed. Everyone is bummed out, but he tells them, "Nobody be sad. The dog who's been keeping our princess Devasena locked up for 25 years is gonna catch this fade. But our main mission is breaking the princess out. She says, I heard there's a brave warrior out there who can help us. He says, I know him, Katapa. Katapa wants to help, but his ancestors' ancestors were slaves to the throne of Mahishmati. Later, she goes on guard duty. She checks her reflection in the water and gets super sad seeing her femininity erased by her warrior look. She puts her hand in the water and falls asleep. At this time, Shiva is underwater and paints a tattoo on her hand without her even feeling it. Later, she goes back to the king who asks, who among you wants the honor of saving the princess? Everyone wants the clout, but he picks Avantika. She's super happy and goes to put on the badge. She reaches out her hand, he sees the tattoo and goes, what did you do? She's shocked. He says, looks like you're in love and forgot the main goal. Sorry, you can't take this mission. She stops him and says, I don't know when or how this got here, but these tears aren't weakness. They prove my loyalty and pain for the princess. For my sake, let me have the honor. He actually gives her the badge and says, watch out, if you fail, King Balaladeva won't show mercy. He'll torture you in the worst ways before ending you. Now we see the city of Mahishmati and King Balaladeva wrestling a bull that weighs 5 tons. He manages to stop the bull even though he doesn't weigh 100 kilos. You're gonna ask how? Bruh, in India, a kilo packs more punch than a ton. The math just works differently there. Anyway, the bull snaps back and almost kills him from behind, but Katapa hits the bull and King Balaladeva finishes it. He goes to Katapa and says, you're weird, Katapa. Even though you're my #1 op, you always try to save me. I know it's not love for me, but worship of the throne. But I'll give you a reward. Ask for whatever and I got you. Katapa says, please, you've locked up Princess Devasena for 25 years. I beg you, forgive her and let her go. He replies, I'll do it. Take this sword, go kill her, and right then I'll release her. Obviously, you don't want that. I'll leave her to suffer in prison until she dies. Later, they drag her out. His dad says to her, how are you, Devasena? Missing anything in your torture? And Balaladeva tells her, see where your love for him got you? You chose him and left me. Tell me now, where is he and where am I? Come on, clean this place up. He leaves her there. She keeps collecting twigs falling from the trees. Katapa comes over and says, I beg you, Devasena, run away, or at least accept reality. Trust me, your son is dead. Nobody is coming to save you. She tells him, my son is still alive. He didn't die, and he's coming to kill that dog Balaladeva and take his rightful place. He says, listen, there's no better time than now. Come on, I'll sneak you out before the guards get back. She says, you think I've been collecting this wood for 25 years just to leave it? No way. I've been gathering this wood for 25 years to watch Balaladeva burn in it. My son is coming soon. Don't worry. Later, Avantika goes to the spot where the tattoo happened and tells her friend, you sleep here like I used to, and she goes to that tree to jump whoever shows up. But Shiva appears from behind her and pulls out this snake. She freaks out, freezes, and he paints a second tattoo on her. She throws the snake and runs down to her friend. Her friend is like, what is that? You got another tattoo? She's shook and decides she isn't sleeping until she finds out who this guy is. She hunts for him until she finds him, shoots an arrow, but he hides. Then she pops up behind him, holds a sword to him, and says, speak, who are you and what exactly do you want from me? He says, I'll tell you, but first, who are you? Why did you forget your beauty and softness to carry a sword with angry eyes? You're doing your beauty dirty. He tells her, I'm Shiva and I came here specifically to marry you. She hears this and attacks, trying to hit him but can't. He starts stripping off her warrior gear, takes her under the waterfall, and gives her a bath. Damn, Shiva, are you the official sponsor of showers or what? Anyway, Shiva puts makeup on her until she looks like this. Damn, bro is a makeup artist too. She loves her new look. Shiva reveals himself with the mask. She says, "That mask is mine. I dropped it at the waterfall. Did you come here for me?" He says, "I came to see the smile behind the mask, but I haven't seen it yet." She laughs and falls into his arms. Then they get married. No priest, no witnesses, they just wrap it up. Then she remembers the mission to save Princess Devasena. Shiva's about to talk, but she makes him smell this onion and he passes out cold. The real question is, where did she even get that onion on her honeymoon? Anyway, she leaves him there. Suddenly, Balala Deva's soldiers show up, catch her, and are about to take her away, but they can't leave because Shiva wakes up and wipes them out one by one. The last soldier is left standing and says, "Forgive me, Prince Bahubali, I beg you." But Shiva isn't paying attention and runs because the rest of the army is pulling up. He pushes this massive rock, causing an avalanche that crushes them all. She tells him, "Forgive me, I had to do it. I love you, but I can't ditch my duties." He says, "Me neither. Since you're mine now, your problems are my problems. I don't know who Princess Devasena is, but I promise I'll save her for you." He actually gets there and Devasena realizes her dream is starting to come true. Meanwhile, Balala Deva is having a statue of himself raised by thousands of slaves. They stumble and the statue is about to crush them, but Shiva grabs the rope and saves the statue all by himself. I believe it, it's India after all. Anyway, the guys start getting back in position. Just then, the wind blows the scarf off Shiva's face. As soon as this one guy sees him, he yells Bahubali, and the whole city starts chanting Bahubali. Balala Deva and his crew are absolutely fuming. Balala Deva tells his dad, "Same thing as 25 years ago. I was king, but everyone chanted Bahubali's name. Even dead, he won't leave me alone." At that moment, Shiva begins his mission. He takes out the guards around Princess Devasena, seizes her, and flees. Katapa sees them escaping, rallies his warriors, and gives chase. They spring an ambush, drag him into the mud, and completely overpower him. Although Shiva doesn't know who the woman suffering before him is, he can't stand to see her humiliated, so he cuts his enemies down one by one. Only the prince is left. Shiva is about to kill him when Katapa saves the prince and attacks Shiva. Shiva strikes back, still focused on killing the prince, but Katapa stops him. Just then, the king of Kuntala and the woman who raised him open a tunnel and enter with their companions. Katapa calls for his horse to fetch the sword, but Shiva leaps, snatches it, and severs the prince's head. At that moment, one of the prince's men hurls a spear at Shiva and charges him, attempting to kill him. Shiva's face starts to clear up in the rain. As soon as he turns around, everyone is stunned. Katapa can't believe his eyes. He drops to his knees, and everyone else kneels too, because they realize this is the crown prince, son of Prince Bahubali. And this is where the fun begins. Anyway, Katapa thanks Sangha for raising their king. Then he goes to Shiva, who asks, "I don't know who these people are and why they look at me like they need help, and why, when I see this lady's wounds, does my blood boil? Who am I, and what's my connection to them?" He says, "You are the son of Prince Bahubali. You are the one your mother and the whole city have been waiting for. Let me tell you the story from the start. 50 years ago, your grandpa inherited the throne. His older brother, Bijaladeva, was supposed to get it, but he wasn't qualified because of his disability. Grandpa died, leaving his wife pregnant with your dad. Bijaladeva's wife, Sivagami, had her son, Balaladeva. Your mom died giving birth to your dad, so Sivagami took Bahubali and decided to raise him like her own son. The throne was empty. This one guy said, 'I'll rule,' but everyone said, 'Nah.' Katapa took him out, and Sivagami sat on the throne. The minister tells her, 'This is where you belong.' She says, 'Of course not.' Her husband, Bijaladeva, says, 'My son is the new king.' But Sivagami says, 'No, both boys have a right to rule. When they grow up, we'll see who deserves it.' They grow up, and Sivagami treats them exactly the same. Both are super strong, but Bahubali is known for being kind and cool with everyone. Katapa tells Sivagami, 'The princes are ready.' She says, "I'm torn on who should rule. I want the next tests to be way harder." Then this spy comes in, steals the defense plans, and gives them to the enemy. But Prince Bahubali and Prince Balaladeva catch him. They find out he gave the plans to the king of the Kalakayas and learn when the attack is happening. They're trying to figure out how to stop 100,000 soldiers with only 30,000 men. Bahubali says, "We're playing a 4-4-2 formation. I got south." Balaladeva says, "I got north." And suddenly, I'm the war commentator. Anyway, Bijaladeva says, "Whoever kills the enemy king becomes the new king of the city." Sivagami tells Katappa, "Split the army fairly between them." Bahubali plans to win the war, while Balaladeva plans to kill the king to win the throne. Before the war, the monarchs talk. Queen Sivagami says, "Best for everyone if we end this and go home." The enemy king says, "I heard whoever kills me becomes king. I promise I'll kill both your sons, enter the city, and give you a child who will be the new king." She tells the princes, "After you cut off his limbs, I want him alive." She tells Katappa, "Declare war," and it's on. Bahubali set up a legendary trap. He throws a stone to make him feel safe, then throws a cloth soaked in fuel on them, shoots a flaming arrow, and lights them up. He destroys a huge chunk of their army. Balaladeva relies on his bow. The defense line is solid, so they attack the enemy zone. Bahubali goes in with sword and horse, and Balaladeva comes out with a literal ceiling fan. They get there, but the enemy is using kidnapped women and kids as human shields. Balaladeva tells his men, "Don't stop, push through." They go in and kill a bunch of the people he was supposed to save. But Bahubali enters with big brain energy. He shoots ropes with stones to trip the enemies so they fall and the path is clear. Arrows rain down. He saves the civilians, enters the zone, and destroys half the army solo. This kid reminds me of my youth. Anyway, the defense line breaks, so Bahubali goes back to support the squad who are scared and running. Bahubali tells them, "Running scared of death? True death is surrendering. I'm ready to die with honor. Who's with me?" Everyone gets hyped, confidence restored. They take control again. Bahubali goes back to attack the center. Balaladeva is still camping for the king kill, but the king wrecks him, breaks his bones, and Bahubali saves him last second. The king orders a swarm of soldiers on him, but Bahubali lifts them all up like this. I really need a sip of whatever Indian juice they're drinking, or I just need the confidence to cap like this. Bahubali gets up, breaks the king's bones, defeats him, and is about to finish him, but that scumbag Balaladeva steals the kill. Everyone is shook because Bahubali deserves the crown, but Bahubali, being a total bro, says congrats, and they win the war. Time to announce the new king. Sivagami says, "I declare, Balaladeva is commander of the army, and my son Bahubali is the new king." Her husband says, "That's unfair. Didn't you see him kill the enemy king?" She says, "It's not about kills, it's about lives saved." Balaladeva only focused on enemies, but Bahubali focused on both and did his job like a pro. Bahubali goes up, everyone is super happy, and Katappa is beaming. Back to the present, Katappa continues talking to Shiva. "Since you say he was so OP and enemies were scared to touch him, who killed him? How did he die?" Katappa drops the bomb. "He died by betrayal. I am the one who killed him." Katappa finishing the lore dump for Shiva. The Queen Mother Sivagami is supposed to carry this plate of literal fire to their idol's temple without dropping it, walk into a specific beat, and once she gets there, she's gonna burn the villain's effigy so the city gets cleansed of evil. She's actually walking, but then these elephants glitch out and go aggro on the villagers. She tells Katappa, "Get the NPCs away from the elephants and I'll keep going, and no matter what happens, do not leave them to come help me." Just then, the elephant attacks her, but it can't even reach her because the beast Bahubali pulls up in this massive chariot and smacks the elephant. She breezes past safely and nails the delivery of the coal plate to the idol Shiva. Honestly, if you brought him a bowl of chili beans, he'd probably be happier with you, just saying. Anyway, she tosses the coals, lights the sand, hands it to Bahubali, and Bahubali smacks the bad guy's doll, and the party is over. After that, Queen Sivagami is totally drained from walking 47 kilometers with fire. Bahubali is playing nurse with cold compresses and camping by her side till she wakes up. He's super tight with the people who absolutely stand Bahubali. Bahubali the big heart. I mean, who doesn't love Bahubali? This triggers Balala Deva's dad. He tells Bala, stay sitting there useless like that. You're her legit son, and she gives everything to her illegitimate son. She likes him more than you loser. I honestly want to unalive her myself and be done. Later, Queen Sivagami is scouting for a wifey for Bahubali, but can't find a girl who passes the vibe check before his official coronation as king. Then she calls Bahubali and tells him, go touch grass, take a lap around the city, see what's poppin' outside, and take Katapa with you. He says, bet, Mom. So he goes out, tours the whole world, and everything's chill until he hits Kuntala City and finds bodies just floating in the water. Katapa tells him these gangs don't just loot, they delete people just for the lulz. Bahubali decides to camp out there for a bit to fix this bug. They enter the mix with the locals, cosplaying as poor, average dudes. At this time, the princess rolls through with her security detail and the gang attacks the princess. Katapa tells Bahubali, we don't need to third-party this yet, let's see what happens. The gang is about to game end the princess, but she comes out and starts pop, slicing them up. Bahubali can't believe his eyes. He catches feelings immediately, love at first sight type beat. Meanwhile, Prince Kumara, who's supposed to marry her, is hiding among the ladies. At this moment, Bahubali notices there's a trap set for them in the middle of the forest. He and Katapa go and start clearing the mobs, but Bahubali isn't focused on the fight because his heart and brain are with the princess. Katapa gets surrounded, so he calls for help, so Bahubali drops a tree on the guys holding Katapa and wipes them all out except Katapa. If we focus together here, we'll find this homie fell on his own without the tree touching him. Even the trees lie in India. Anyway, Katapa asks him, bro, what are you doing? You aren't focused, why? He says, I'm down bad for her, bro, ready to do anything for her. Katapa says, and for love, you're gonna let me die? Man, since the day you came back, I've had your back. He says, you gotta step up as a wingman now and make her love me. They go to the princess and she asks, how was there a brawl while you guys were sitting with the women? He says, don't blame us, we don't know anything about fighting. My nephew and I got kicked out of our city, heard your highness has a big heart and would help us. It's not important to help me, I just want this kid to train with a sword, that's it. She says, okay, aesthetically he's good, if he trains, he could become a guard. Kumara says, I'm the one who's gonna teach him. And indeed, they take him to the royal palace. Kumara tells him, this is a mace. Wait, you won't be able to carry it. He doesn't know Bahubali eats 7 like it for breakfast. And this is a spear, and this is a sword. Come, I'll teach you how to hold the sword. Lift it like this and bring it down like this. Come on, try it. He goes to try, but he pretends to be a bot, and everyone laughs at him. Even though the princess laughs too, she feels something is glitchy. Bahubali focuses on her, forgets the sword in his hand, and snaps this wooden block. Kumara is shook, but Katapa says, oh my god, your highness, how did you do that? Devasena is amazed by what happened. Later, Katapa tells Bahubali, why the cringe act? If you went and told her brother you're Bahubali, he would have handed her to you, in a bag, as you were leaving. He says, I don't want her like that. I want her to love me for me, not for my achievements and clout. And Kumara brings this block of wood and tries to repeat what he did in the morning, but fails. Princess Devasena walks in on him, so he hides the sword and wood. She asks, I didn't catch how you broke that wood in the morning. Can you do it again live in front of me? He says, for sure, but where do I get wood right now? She says, simple. They bring the wood and sword. He's about to swing, but Katapa saves him from the cringe and tells her it won't work for him to break 2 blocks in one day, he'll get jinxed. She says, fine, tomorrow we have a wild boar hunt because they're griefing the locals' crops. Indeed, the hunt starts, and Bahubali is with Kumara, who doesn't even know how to hold a bow. She is totally soloing and super confident, but Bahubali helps Kumara without him noticing and makes him kill all the boars while everyone watches. Devasena gets annoyed, walks up to him and says, "I'm sus of you, something's wrong." But she trips and is about to fall, so Bahubali supports her in a controversial scene. She grabs his hand and says, "This hand is a warrior's hand, and a very strong warrior too." Katapa tells her, "Warrior? No way, this is a dim-witted kid." She says, "Let's see, bring me Bahadur." Bahadur is a cow/bull. Bahubali lets it hit him and pretends his arm is broken. She takes him to the palace and Katapa says, "Is this fair? You gotta sing to him so he heals." Indeed, she sings and dances for him. By this time, she has fallen in love with Bahubali. News reaches Balala Deva. They tell him Bahubali is at Princess Devasena's palace and Devasena loves him and he loves her too. Since they both love each other, as soon as he sees Devasena's pic, he admires her too. So he says in front of everyone, "I'm the one who's gonna marry her." His dad says, "Your mom's gonna reject that." He says, "Mom doesn't know Bahubali loves her in the first place." He goes down to his mom and tells her, "I love Devasena and I want to marry her." One of his spies says, "Dream within your capabilities, Commander." Sivagami says, "No, my son can dream of anything. My son has no bugs and she has the honor to marry him. I'll marry her to him whatever the cost. I promise she'll be your wife ASA." Indeed, she sends jewelry and tons of expensive gifts and sends a letter with a marriage request for Devasena to her son. Katapa hears this and is hyped because he thinks she wants to marry the princess to Bahubali. But Devasena feels insulted because the groom didn't come himself to propose, so she returns the gifts and her reply is savage. She sends a letter saying, "The sword you sent, I sent you one back with an extra one. And the jewelry you sent, put it on your son. Keep him by your side and find him a female dog far away from me." This letter hits Sivagami like a thunderbolt, and she tells them, "Prepare a war against Kuntala city." But her husband says, "Why war? Isn't Bahubali there? Let him kidnap her and bring her here so we can raise her all over again." Indeed, she executes his words and sends a DM to Bahubali. At this time, Katapa goes to Bahubali and says, "Your mom sensed you love Devasena and sent a letter to marry her to you, but Devasena refused and her reply wasn't good." He says, "Her rejecting my mom makes me happier because she doesn't know I'm the groom, so she loved me, not the king who proposed." But he hears a weird sound, so he runs to check on Devasena, but Kumara tells him, "I won't let you leave." He says, "Not the time for this talk." He says, "You raising your hand at me too?" He kicks him, picks up this cart, and yeets it at the enemies attacking the palace. At this time, they're in a city that got ambushed without knowing who the enemies are, but Bahubali deletes anyone trying to enter the palace, and everyone is totally stunned by Bahubali's power. Kumara goes to hide among the women. Bahubali goes to him and says, "Until when will you stay a coward? Time to prove your courage," and leaves him. Kumara gets inspired and unleashes the beast inside. Devasena doesn't understand what's happening. These soldiers rush her. She keeps hitting them, but they're too many and are about to kill her. But the lion Bahubali saves her. As soon as she sees Bahubali's skills, she stands in shock. The enemies have them surrounded from every side, but Bahubali is in control. And I really like this move. Thinking of doing it. Which of you's ready to step up? Anyway, he tells her, "Focus with me. Use 4 fingers, not 3. We aren't rolling stuffed cabbage here." Indeed, she follows his lead and they eliminate all the soldiers up top. At this time, Katapa preps the soldiers and waits for a signal from Bahubali. Bahubali sends the signal, so he lights fire to the bull's horns and succeeds in stopping the enemy with them. After that, he ties a lot of ropes to them, climbs this dam, opens it, and the water comes down on the enemy army and drowns them all. Thus, he won against a huge army using cows. He returns and no one believes what happened. Kumara thanks him for the courage he planted in him. The king says, "You saved the city from unexpected danger. Who are you, son, and what is your truth?" Kataba says, "Actually, we came here to marry this brave warrior to someone from your side." He asks, "Who is the lucky girl who won this hero's admiration?" He says, "Your Princess Devasena, obviously." They agree without conditions and Devasena is super happy. At this time, the message arrives for Bahubali. He reads it and Devasena asks, "What's up?" He says, "Queen Sivagami ordered me to bring you back as a prisoner." She says, "You're a traitor." He approaches her, but she raises the sword and says, "Who are you?" She grabs this torch and hits him in the chest. At this time, he reveals his true self and Kataba shouts, "This is the upcoming king of Mahishmati, the hero with impossible achievements, the guy who needs no introduction, Bahubali." Everyone kneels, but Bahubali goes to her brother and says, "Stand up, no need for this," and signals all soldiers to stand. Bahubali tells her, "My mom never makes a mistake like this, ever. Surely there's a deep secret behind this letter. All I want is for you to trust me and come with me." She says, "You're the only one my heart loved, and sadly I can't leave you, but my dignity comes first." He says, "Promise from me, no one touches your dignity while I'm alive, and nothing keeps me from you except death." Indeed, he takes her, and before she boards the ship, the wooden plank falls. Looks like a promising start. Anyway, he goes into the water, carries her on his shoulders, and climbs onto the ship. Honestly, the ship design is fantasy. This ship doesn't just walk on water, it flies too. Man, even the ships lie there. Anyway, they reach the city and enter under the people's gaze. The authority Bahubali goes to stand beside his mom, Sivagami. Devasena tells her, "I'm sorry for the reply that wasn't good to your highness. I apologize and hope you accept." She says, "I'll forgive you because from today, you are my son's wife. Go stand by your future husband." Devasena goes to stand by Bahubali, but Sivagami asks, "Where you going?" She says, "Exactly like you said, I'm standing by my future husband, Bahubali." She says, "I'm marrying you to my son Baladeva, not Bahubali." At this time, Kataba intervenes and says, "Excuse me, I'm the reason for this confusion. When you sent the request, I thought you meant Bahubali, not Bala." She says, "Whatever, Devasena is marrying Bala." Devasena says, "But he's the one my heart loved, not anyone else, and who are you to decide Princess Devasena's marriage?" At this time, she tells the guards, "Chain her." The guards go to do it, but Bahubali has a second opinion. He stands up to them and says, "No one can touch Princess Devasena while I'm alive. I promised her that, and you raised me not to break promises. The decision to marry Devasena to Bala was a mistake by you. She has no fault in it." At this time, the dog, Bala's dad, intervenes. "Her raising you when you aren't her son was a mistake. Her love for you was a mistake. She was going to give you the king title, and that's a mistake." Sivagami tells him, "I promised your brother Bala to marry her to him. You have two choices, no third. Either marry Devasena or remain king." He says, "I pick the first option, because you raised me to keep promises whatever the cost." At this time, she says in front of everyone, "At the Vijay festival, Baladeva will be officially crowned king and Bahubali gets commander of the armed forces." Indeed, the festival starts and Sivagami puts the king crown on Baladeva. Anyway, he takes this big page and reads the script, and the only ones cheering are 2 or 3 of his minions. After that, Sivagami puts the commander helmet on Bahubali, and while putting it on, she's upset with him and for him, because she's sure Bahubali deserves the king title. But what can we do? Villains win everything. Anyway, he gets ready to speak, refuses the paper script, and as soon as he says, "I am Bahubali," the whole population chants his name and vibes with him, shocking Sivagami, Bala, and Devasena. He finishes his speech saying, "Promise from me, I will protect the great people of Mahishmati. From today, I'm responsible for your protection, your money, and your dignity from all harm. I won't hesitate a moment to sacrifice my life for you. Promise from me, biggest witnesses are King Balaladeva and Queen Mother Sivagami." He ends his speech and the people scream his name so loud the ground shakes and everything falls. Man, they made me feel like I'm the one talking. Anyway, Balaladeva is super salty about what happened. His dad says, "Okay, get rid of him, kill him. You're king, no one can oppose you." He says, "A decision like that is impossible without Mom Sivagami's will." Dad says, "How do you think we'll convince her?" He says, "Use your brain and we'll do it." At this time, Bahubali marries Devasena, and she says, "I'm sorry, we're the reason your mom is mad at you." He says, "Don't worry, when we bring a little Bahubali, she'll soften up and be cool with me." Indeed, the second day she's pregnant and already in the 7th month, it's Bahubali in the end. Anyway, everyone comes bringing gifts. I don't know if these are gifts or King Tut's tomb. On my birthday, my friend gave me a t-shirt and I was so happy I framed it on the wall. Anyway, everyone congratulates, but his mom, Sivagami, doesn't come. Deva says she won't come. He says, "I'm sure she'll come." Indeed, she comes. He runs to her, but she doesn't look at him, leaves him, congratulates Devasena with disgust, and sits on the side. Kumara comes to congratulate his friend. Finally, King Balaladeva comes to congratulate him and says, "I brought a very expensive gift. Since you left your job to celebrate your son, I'm relieving you of duty so you can sit all your life by your son. From today, the new commander is Sethapathy." Bahubali executes the order and gives the ring to Sethapathy. Devasena gets annoyed and tells Sivagami, "How do you accept putting a sheep in a lion's spot? You don't deserve Bahubali's love." She leaves her and walks away. Later, she goes outside, and while returning, Sethapathy keeps harassing the women leaving. Before he touches her, she pulls the dagger and cuts off his fingers. She's presented to King Balaladeva and Queen Mother Sivagami. Bala asks, "What happened?" She says, "This talk should have been before you chained me and proved I was guilty. This city has no heart that feels nor a mind that weighs." Sivagami tells her, "I'll cut your tongue if you mess up one more word." The dog tries to please the queen. At this time, Bahubali arrives, sees the chains, and everyone is terrified of his angry glare. Bala asks Sethupati, "What happened?" He says, "I ordered the women to use a different exit and tried to move away, so Devasena cut my fingers for no reason while being terrified of Bahubali." Bala asks him, "You scaring the victim?" He says, "No, but your way of asking is wrong." He asks, "How should I ask to know the truth?" Bahubali asks Devasena, "What happened?" She says, "The women were exiting, Sethupati harassed them and wanted to do that to me, so I cut his fingers." He tells her, "Wrong. He who touches any woman in the city doesn't get fingers cut, he gets his head cut," and everyone is stunned. Bala says, "How are you killing the victim?" He says, "Victim, that's your aunt." This guy is guilty because he spoke while scared, but Devasena spoke with total confidence. Thus, truth appeared from lies, and he unchains her. Queen Sivagami tells him, "If you and your wife stay, the palace will be destroyed. Your punishment is exile from the palace without any possessions." He says, "Bad mom, whatever happens, I'll keep following orders and serving the city." When he goes out, he finds the whole population doing this movement for him. I don't know the meaning, but surely it's an Indian thing. This guy tells them, "Why are you sad? He's gonna live among us. We should celebrate." Indeed, Bahubali takes off his gold. First time you notice the gold he's wearing, right? Don't stress, it's golden India. Indeed, he lives a long time with the locals, makes machines to ease their manual labor, and every day goes to look at his mom, Sivagami. Balaladeva and his dad plot to kill him, sending a guy to do it, but Kumara notices. He follows the guy until he realizes Balaladeva and his dad sent him. He asks him, "Are you crazy, killing your brother?" He says, "If you mention this to anyone, I'll kill you too," hits him and leaves. Kumara goes to him and says, "I heard everything." He says, "That's my son. I know him. He'll do what's in his head. I'll help you reach his room to kill him while sleeping to save your friend Bahubali." Indeed, he goes there, but it's a trap. They hit him, and Bala's dad says, "You're so stupid, Kumara." Bala wounds himself, and his dad kills Kumara. He tells Sivagami, "Bahubali sent his friend to kill your son, all to take his spot as king. Bahubali is a traitor and must die." She's shocked and says, "If I order Bahubali's death, the people will turn on us." He says, "So you'll leave him alive?" She says, "No, I'll kill him, but the right way." She calls Katapa. Bala tells him, "Your ancestors were always loyal to the throne. Surely you're like them and will do what's asked." He says, "Of course, command me." He says, "You will kill Bahubali." He's shocked. "Impossible." "And if I agreed, what's your opinion, Mom of Bahubali? Will you agree to kill your son?" She says, "Bahubali must die." He says, "Impossible for me to kill him. Cut my neck, but I won't do it." She says, "Will you kill him, or do I kill him with my own hand?" He says, "I'll kill him," and is super sad. At this time, Devasena is about to give birth. This guy goes to Bahubali and says, "Help! Katapa is accused of treason and guards are torturing him." He enters Devasena's room. Katapa is in danger. She says, "Go save him. Bring him here to bless our son." This is their last kiss. Indeed, he goes to Katapa. Guards see him, get scared, and run. Katapa comes out of the fire, starts unchaining. At this time, an arrow hits his chest. He's surprised by many arrows behind him. He covers Katapa and takes all arrows in his back. He stands up like a lion as if it's a matchstick in his back, breaks the arrows, takes Katapa on his back. Katapa says, "I kiss your hand, leave me and go. Understand, stand up and run." He says, "Even if my heart let me leave you, I can't because my son is waiting for you. You gotta be the first to hold him. I promised Devasena I'd return with you. Let me unchain you and let's go." He says, "Please return to your son. Live, leave me here." He says, "You scared for me? As long as you're on my side, the man who can kill me hasn't been born." He unchains him, starts finishing the guards, lights trees on fire, burning them all, finishes these two. Then Katapa comes from behind and stabs him with a sword, crying and saying, "Forgive me, it's a royal order." He runs to support him. He gives Katapa his will before dying, "Take care of my mother," and he dies sitting like that. At this time, Baladeva comes and tells Katapa, "Bravo! You proved you're an obedient dog." He tells him, "Where's your strength, Bahu? See where I got you. All your life taking everything from me. Finally, everything is in my hand. Even my mom who loved you, I planted hate between you and made her sign your death warrant." Katapa hears this and is shocked. Afterwards, he goes to Sivagami, wipes Bahubali's blood on her, and says, "How do we wash our hands of this sin? You were wrong. Bahubali is innocent." He tells her what happened. You know his last words? He didn't entrust his son or wife to me. He entrusted you. He said, "Take care of my mother." She breaks down crying. Later, Devasena comes with her son. Bala and Dad come. He says to Sivagami, "Left to kill his son and wife to delete his scent forever." Sivagami goes to Devasena, "My bad, I wronged you a lot, but I'll compensate and atone for my sins, cause I killed my son unjustly." At this time, the whole population is outside asking for Bahubali. Sivagami takes the kid, goes out to the people. Bahubali is a closed chapter. From today, the new king is the son of the hero, Bahubali. She goes to Bala, "You're sentenced to death." He says, "Don't worry, I planned everything." They call guards to take the kid, but Katapa hits them and helps her escape. She exits via emergency exit, but Bala hits her with an arrow. Thinks she died, but she doesn't die, continues in water, saves the kid, and punishes herself with death. Bala jails Devasena. And Katapa finishes his talk to Shiva. "Remember Shiva? Bet you forgot him, bro." Anyway, Shiva is moved, goes under his mom's feet, and tells Katappa, "Prep a war for me against those who betrayed my dad." Mahishmati locals come running, super happy to see the king alive, Shiva, son of hero Bahubali, back to save them. Indeed, Bahubali preps the army, goes to Bala, who is shocked seeing him along with his dad. War starts. Bala brings his weird weapon. Shiva carries this tree and hits with it, being a carbon copy of his liar dad. He attacks Bala, smashes his weird weapon. Bala gets annoyed, stands up, but gets hit. Shiva picks him up, throws him on the wood his mom saved for 25 years, hits him with the sword, pinning him. Devasena comes with a fire plate on her head and lights him up. Finally, Shiva returns to his rightful place and his mom, the queen, crowns him. And here the movie ends. Alright, that's a wrap, my friend. Make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment from the heart. If you're really feeling the love, share this video with your crew. And yo, check out the channel. I've got tons of videos you're gonna vibe with. Catch you in the next one.